All right, let's talk about something important. Today, May 31st, 2025, is World No Tobacco Day. Now, I know what you're thinking, another day for something, but this one really matters. It's a day when the entire world is supposed to focus on the massive health problems caused by tobacco. We're talking about a product that, when used exactly as directed, kills. Think about that. It's not a side effect, it's the main event. This isn't about scolding smokers. It's about highlighting a global health crisis that we can actually do something about. It's a chance to push for policies that work and save lives. Seriously, this stuff is out to get you. The main point of World No Tobacco Day is to shine a massive spotlight on the health risks. And these risks are not small. We're talking about more than 8 million people dying every single year because of tobacco. 8 million, that's like wiping out a huge city year after year. And get this, around 1.3 million of those deaths are people who weren't even smoking. They died from secondhand smoke. They were just breathing air polluted by someone else's habit. So this day is also about pushing for strong policies to cut down tobacco use. We know what works, we just need the willpower to implement it globally. Every year, World No Tobacco Day has a special theme. This is smart because it lets us focus on different parts of this giant, complicated problem. For example, recent themes have been absolutely brilliant. One year it was all about exposing the sneaky tactics of the tobacco industry. Yes, they have tactics and they are not good. Another year the focus was on protecting children because, spoiler alert, tobacco companies love young customers. And another important theme has been how tobacco farming actually makes food insecurity worse in some places. So it's not just about health, it affects so much more. So the whole idea behind this day isn't just to give you some scary facts, though the facts are terrifying. It's about raising awareness, yes, but it's also about pushing for genuine, concrete action. It's a call to governments, to organizations, and to individuals to step up. This isn't just an information campaign, it's a global movement trying to reduce the harm caused by a product that has frankly overstayed its welcome by several centuries. We need to make tobacco less appealing, less available, and less normal. And World No Tobacco Day is a key part of making that happen. It's a reminder that we can and must do better. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the actual damage tobacco does. The health risks are, to put it mildly, horrific. We all know about lung cancer, right? It's practically the poster child for tobacco-related diseases. But it's not just lung cancer. Oh no, tobacco is an overachiever in the worst possible way. It causes chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which basically means your lungs give up. Then there's heart disease. Smoking is a major cause of heart attacks and strokes. It messes with your circulation, your blood pressure, everything. It's a full-body assault, not just a little tickle in your throat. And don't think you're safe if you're using smokeless tobacco. Things like chewing tobacco or snuff, still incredibly dangerous. You might not be inhaling smoke, but you're introducing a whole host of carcinogens directly into your body. This leads to cancers of the mouth, the throat, and the esophagus. It can cause terrible gum disease and tooth loss, plus it's still highly addictive because of the nicotine. The tobacco industry loves to pretend these are safer alternatives. They are not. They are just a different route to a lot of pain and suffering. It's like choosing to be hit by a bus instead of a train. Either way, it's bad. Now let's talk about secondhand smoke, because this is where it gets even more infuriating. Secondhand smoke is not just a bit annoying, it's a killer. As I mentioned, 1.3 million people die from it each year. These are people who made the choice not to smoke but are still suffering the consequences. It contains thousands of chemicals, hundreds of which are toxic, and about 70 are known to cause cancer. So, when someone smokes near you, they are literally releasing poison into the air you breathe. There is no safe level of exposure to secondhand smoke. None, not even a little bit. And the impact on children is particularly devastating. Children exposed to secondhand smoke are at a much higher risk for sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. It's terrifying. They also suffer from more frequent and severe respiratory infections like bronchitis and pneumonia. Asthma attacks can be triggered or worsened by secondhand smoke. Ear infections are more common too. Essentially, children's developing bodies are incredibly vulnerable to these toxins. Their lungs are still growing, their immune systems are still maturing. Exposing them to tobacco smoke is doing them a profound disservice. with potentially lifelong health consequences. It's just awful. So how does an industry that sells a deadly product stay in business? Well, one key strategy is to target young people. It's cynical, it's predatory, but it's absolutely what they do. They need new customers because, frankly, their old ones keep dying. Think about it. They use slick marketing, often associating tobacco with coolness, rebellion, or glamour. They introduce flavored products like fruit or candy-flavored e-cigarettes or little cigars, specifically designed to appeal to younger palates. These flavors mask the harshness of tobacco, making it easier for young people to start. It's a deliberate and calculated tactic. The ultimate goal for these companies is to create lifelong customers. If they can get someone hooked on nicotine when they're young, they're much more likely to have a customer for decades. The adolescent brain is particularly vulnerable to nicotine addiction. It's a business model built on addiction, and it starts by targeting the most impressionable members of society. They know that most smokers start before the age of 18, so all their efforts are geared towards making that first puff, that first vape, as appealing and accessible as possible. It's predatory capitalism at its absolute worst. Protecting children from these tactics is absolutely crucial. They are not equipped to understand the long-term health consequences or the addictive nature of nicotine. They see the marketing, they see their peers, and they are susceptible. This isn't about restricting freedom, it's about safeguarding public health, especially for the most vulnerable. If we don't protect them, we are essentially allowing an industry to groom the next generation of addicts. This has profound implications not just for individual health, but for public health systems and for the future well-being of our societies. Kids deserve a chance to grow up without this pressure. This is why many World No Tobacco Day themes have specifically focused on protecting youth and exposing industry tactics. It's about pulling back the curtain on how these companies operate. They try to position themselves as responsible, but their actions speak louder than words. The fight to keep kids safe involves education, strong regulations, and constant vigilance. We need to make it harder for them to reach children, harder for them to normalize a product that will cause so much harm. It's a battle for the health of future generations, and it's one we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Okay, so tobacco is terrible and the industry is devious. What can we actually do about it? Well, the good news is there are proven effective policy measures. One of the most effective is simply making tobacco more expensive. Higher taxes on tobacco products work. When cigarettes cost more, fewer people buy them, especially young people and those with lower incomes. It's basic economics, and it has a direct impact on public health. Governments around the world have seen smoking rates drop when they significantly increase tobacco taxes. It's a win-win. More revenue for the government, fewer smokers. But taxes are just one tool in the box. Comprehensive advertising bans are also incredibly important. No more billboards, no more magazine ads, no more sponsorships making smoking look cool or athletic. Plain packaging is another brilliant idea. This means removing all the fancy branding and logos from cigarette packs, replacing them with large graphic health warnings. Suddenly that pack doesn't look so glamorous anymore, and of course providing widespread support for people who want to quit is essential. This includes counseling, nicotine replacement therapies, and quit lines. Making it easier to quit is just as important as making it harder to start. Individuals also have a huge role to play. You don't have to be a policymaker to make a difference. Educate yourself and others about the risks of tobacco and the tactics of the industry. Talk to your friends, your family, especially any young people in your life. Support laws and policies in your community and country that aim to reduce tobacco use. This could mean supporting smoke-free public places or advocating for higher tobacco taxes. And crucially, do your part to protect others from secondhand smoke. If you smoke, try to quit. And if you can't, never smoke around non-smokers, especially children. Finally, get involved with World No Tobacco Day today. Participate in local events if there are any. Share information on social media. Start a conversation. The more people who are aware and engaged, the stronger the movement for tobacco control becomes. This isn't just someone else's problem, it affects all of us. So let's use this day as a catalyst for action. Let's support the efforts to unmask tobacco and its hidden dangers. Let's push for a world where fewer people suffer and die because of this entirely preventable epidemic. We can do this, but it takes all of us.